Cinephilia, the best show in the world. Hey, you guys like a new musical intro?
Like going sideways. I wasn't ready for it just to pop on us, so here we are. Hello.
I know every time I watch the shows now, it's us looking at the screen and going, hey everybody, welcome to Cinephilia.
We should try to put the screen like more on top of the camera or something. Put the camera in between it.
Oh!
Hey, Kurt and Corey, thank you for hosting our stream. And a raid, party of three, woo!
Thank you. Welcome everybody.
Thank you. Hello everybody.
Welcome to today's episode of Cinephilia.
Cinephilia.
Is that a question? Cinephilia?
Yeah, my tiredness has been catching up.
Yeah.
Lockerbie and I have been up since 4:30 this morning.
A little early.
Why?
We had to work.
Work before
On
work.
secret.
Work before work.
On secrets.
Secrets.
Yeah, welcome to Cinephilia. Today we're talking about Rise of the Skywalker. So I didn't make a spoiler thing.
Oh,
So
This whole episode is going to be spoilers.
Huge
so just,
spoilers.
Just get ready.
huge spoiler.
All of it.
Yeah.
I did
We're
put it
just
in
delving
in the Go Live.
I mean, you did kind of make the Go Live
Spoiler
spoiler
alert.
alert is the
Yeah.
title, literally.
Kevin
so.
would say, says, we're not talking about cats. We are definitely going to talk
Oh,
about cats.
yeah. Will's got
I
that
did
covered.
not
I-
see it, though.
I
Doesn't
saw
matter.
it.
Doesn't
Will
matter.
saw
I think I'm the only one who saw it.
You
Yeah,
probably
it's-
shouldn't see it.
I agree. I've heard I've read the reviews.
No, I kind of want to see it.
I want to see it to see
wanna
how
see
bad
the
it is.
train.
Should, I mean, we're not going to stay very long on cats, so should I just get into
Let's
cats?
just get into
cats.
cats while I work on the spoiler alert.
You just stay out of this conversation
Oh,
altogether.
God.
Well, first of all, welcome to our guest. Andrew's here. We're back from last week. And we also have Ryan. First time on the show.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
welcome.
Right.
on the show before.
Have I?
Yeah.
Just from afar. Or like walking past. He's never sat on the show.
I've not talked on the show before.
So cats, news broke this week or this weekend that they're going to be patching cats with new special effects. So if you haven't seen it already this week, it's being updated. What?
this the news?
This is the news, yes.
Yeah. So it could be the news.
Wait, hold on.
Hold
I
on.
thought you were
Let's
going to do
it
the
again.
whole
again.
intro.
Do it again.
Hey.
There we go.
News.
The news.
New news.
So yeah, news broke that Cats is getting a patch. They're actually sending the special effects were not finished before the movie was released. I don't know why. Why would you?
Because that's how you make movies now. You
So
just
they're-
release them without finishing things.
Right. So they're sending new special effects to theaters for
That's amazing.
any future screenings. So when I heard that news, I was like, I need to get to the theater right now and
it.
see
How
the
bad it
special
is,
effects
yeah.
before they get
Before they
better. I'm putting that in quotes.
Better.
add more on top of.
So I rushed to see Cats, and like everyone has said, the special effects are awful. But the movie is equal parts awful and awesome. Like there are things that I actually like about the movie, but there are some things you just can't get past too. So it's kind of like Cats the musical, the stage show. It's kind of like there's some awesome
Very
and
polarizing.
some awful stuff in it.
Don't know what
No,
I saw.
the performances are pretty good. The cinematography is great. The set design is great. The actual look of the cats you get used to in the movie, so it kind of.
Okay.
I'm interested in seeing what it looks like with updated special effects. Like it might actually be an improvement.
Does it? What weirded me out in the trailer too was seeing like these small human-looking cats on large people objects to put them like to the size of cats.
Yeah.
And does that maintain weirdness throughout the film, or do you get used to that as well?
It actually doesn't, because of the way it's shot. It doesn't look bad. Like
Okay.
they fit the sets.
They make it work. Okay.
But I remember seeing like the trailers were just so off-putting.
Right.
And
Yeah.
there was a like making of behind the scenes that they released too that showed them on these sets with like the giant. What did we get? Oh, a subscription.
Oh, thanks, Winston.
Cool. Thank you.
Beep, bop, boop, beep.
They had a behind the scenes video
Yeah.
that showed everyone on the set, and the sets were all huge and overdone. And it was just like,
Actually
this
built.
looks really weird.
Uh-huh.
But in the context of the movie, it works. Like
Okay.
there's towards the opening, there's a segment where they're going into the cemetery, and they're all just crawling on these giant tombstones, and it looks kind of cool.
Okay,
Like I mean,
okay.
and they look very cat-like,
it-
so it works for cats.
Okay.
It's
the
it's
particular
still
image
weird.
of mine is like the giant bed, And because they just still look like humans to me, it just looked like really weird proportions.
Yeah.
And so that's why I kind of, instead of them like actually looking feline.
Well, the reason that I say that the performances are great because all the singing is not that great. The dancing is okay, but what I really liked about the performances were the cat-like movements. They actually, like all the actors are in it 100%. Like they're going for it. So I respect them for that.
Yeah.
But it is still like a weird little amalgamation of cat-human hybrid that's happening. But that happens in the stage show too.
It does,
So you know, I can't fault the movie just for that. That's inherent to the show.
I don't know, but maybe sitting in a theater with proscenium and then knowing that it's all live on stage, I think.
And also there's like this kind of difference between the uncanny valley of CGI versus like.
Which that could also be because they on Broadway they look like costumes with makeup and all that.
Right.
And here they're like, this is a weird, like, then a cat and a human mate, and then this is what we got. Oh my god!
Especially sorry.
No, go ahead.
But like, especially during some of the trailers I've seen, where like their face will move with something, but their body doesn't necessarily match the movement.
So that's something that I hope that they're updating with the updated special effects because there was I feel like they fixed what you're saying for the movie already because it didn't look it didn't still do that, but there are other things on the characters that's like. The collars, for some reason, are CG'd on, and the collars didn't move with the character. I was like, what? Why couldn't they film people wearing collars and just add fur around it? Like it's, but there's collars. There's a couple of the characters have like dangling fish bones and stuff like that, and they don't move correctly for how the character's moving. So that's something else that I hope that they're updating.
Like a bad video game graphic. Where
Yeah.
you're like, oh, that doesn't match.
That is one seam.
The fish bones are going like inside them, like swinging back out.
So it's still a very strange movie. I feel like if they update the effects and it looks a little better, that this will be
Welcome back.
this will be one of those movies that everyone hates right now, but in 5 years it will be everyone's guilty pleasure. Like I feel like this movie is going to become a cult classic.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so adding on to things like, because obviously they took some liberties, right? Like
or they changed like some music and added a song and
So was certain characters adding on like, what is late night talk show guy? He's one of
James
the
Corden.
James Corden.
Oh, right.
And then like Rebel Wilson, were those like distracting, or was it like kind of nice?
He was kind of nice in his role. Rebel Wilson was kind of annoying.
She was just Rebel Wilson.
Yeah, she was just Rebel Wilson. The person who stands out the most to me, being like that is, and it's because she's all over the marketing for this movie, is Taylor Swift.
Right.
Because her character is apparently a character that's supposed to be all throughout the movie, and she's marketed as being like a big character in the movie, and she literally is only in one song towards the end of the movie.
All right.
And the song isn't even, you know how the cats are singing about themselves? The song isn't even about her. It's about another cat.
Okay.
So it's like,
Is it another
why
cat?
are you here?
Is it another cat that she broke up with? So she's singing about it?
It's another cat that she's I guess, hooked up with. But,
That makes sense.
But
That's why she's in there.
Idris Elba is actually great in the movie.
Oh, really?
And Ian McKellen is really great in the movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He's good, yeah.
He's
Yeah.
in everything.
Yeah.
Real quick, Reese Cooper mentioned he won something on our thing, and then he still hasn't received it.
Yeah.
We have not forgotten. It's right here
Don't show that.
with your name on it.
Yeah.
An address. You can't see it. It's white. Your name and address is still sitting here. We just haven't had a chance to send it out.
Yeah.
But we have it labeled, ready to go for you. It's going out soon.
And also, it's
right?
yeah, it's Reed H. Cooper's birthday. So happy
Yes,
birthday!
happy birthday!
Your presents here in the studio.
Thanks for
We were
spending your
saving
birthday
it
with
for
us.
your birthday.
Yeah.
We
Which
were
is
making
today.
So you
So
probably
we
should have sent it
yeah,
so
we
could
probably
have
should have said it
happy
before.
birthday.
So we're late twice now.
Twice.
We also have Winston.
And then Winston, you also have something coming to you.
Two things.
Great.
Sitting right there.
It's great.
Sitting right there.
It's over
We
there.
have not forgotten. We are just procrastinating.
Well done.
So
Proud of you. Off to a good start. Moving on.
So yeah, that's Cats. Like I feel like I'm probably going to see it again, which is weird.
Well, I mean,
but I want to
given
compare the
updated
special effects.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's fair.
but I had to rush out and see like the movie. Like there was
So you saw that instead of Star Wars this week?
the key to knowing. No, I saw both. The key to knowing whether you have seen Cats before or after the updated effects is if you can see Judi Dench's full human hand with her ring finger, because they didn't cover it with fur.
Oh.
Yeah, if you can see it, see her Judi Dench's full human hand, including her wedding ring, like her personal wedding ring, not a prop for the movie, then you've seen it before the patched special effects.
Okay.
That's how that works.
And also, you probably have a better chance going to a theater that's smaller that doesn't have a server, because they have to get the hard drive.
Right.
That's funny.
And also, I want to point out that the only reason I would go see it again is because I have AMC A-list, so I'm not actually paying for it to see it twice. So I don't mind
Man, I
going
love
to
that,
see it
by the
again.
way.
Yeah, me too.
I love having that because I can get
Me
into
too.
the
I need
Dolby
to add you
theater.
to my entourage.
Oh yeah, there's an entourage.
Yeah, AMC A-list just added an entourage, so now you can, if you want to like get tickets for people in your entourage who also have AMC A-list, you get the tickets. I mean, you don't pay for them because it's part of your
Right.
subscription, but you get the tickets and
So
then
that
you
way
assign
can
them to
get
your friends.
tickets at the same time.
You can get all the tickets at the same time.
Oh,
Instead
Assign them to
of
your
like
friends.
calling your friend and be like, okay, I'm gonna get this one.
Right.
All right, quick, I'll go get this one.
That's
Yeah.
kind of cool.
That's
Okay.
cool.
Why normal movie theater AMC's kind of hitting out of the ballpark now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
I
plus
like
with those
AMC.
Dolby theaters,
Yeah.
so you don't have to pay $19 for
Right.
$19.50 for the
Like
ticket. You can
AMC
see-
A-list includes Dolby and
Includes
IMAX
Dolby and
and,
IMAX,
and all of
yeah.
that. So it's
And
and
now
3D.
Now they got MacGuffins serving alcohol up in there. So not that I hit that. but-
That's
No, of
to the
course
heavy
not.
drinker.
No,
Heavy drinker Lockerbie.
no, actually, it's pretty much closed every time I go. Like, there's never anybody there. I'm like, nah. But no, it's pretty great, and I usually end up getting some good rewards too off of it, because they still, even though you don't buy anything when you just see the A-list movies, because of your subscription, they end up like dropping you points every time it renews.
Yeah.
So after a while, you get like a drink for almost free, and you get free upgrades and all that. So it's actually not that bad. I'm digging it.
Yeah. Reed H. Cooper says, Will, I just realized you liked Cats more than you didn't like it, so I am happy. It's true, and I actually put a story up on Instagram, and I got a lot of flack from people about that story. But anyway,
Well, I'm gonna go see one.
I actually did like Cats more than I thought I would, and I will go out on a limb and say Cats is even better than Lion King. Cats is the best cat-related movie this year.
Okay.
It
That's
was.
not a lot.
It's not a lot. It was better than Lion King, and it was better than Pet Sematary, and that's not a lot, really,
wow.
because they were both awful. But
Yeah.
you guys have any other news?
News?
I have some more news,
Yeah,
but you guys, if
No,
you
I don't think I
have
have. I'm
anything.
pretty sure you have news.
Um,
I don't have news.
let's talk about.
I came here for some.
Have you guys heard about Terry Gilliam and what he said recently?
Okay, so I just saw that like flash across my feed, but I didn't click on it. So tell me about it. Yeah.
So Terry Gilliam is the next director who has come out against Marvel, being anti-Marvel, which is fine. Like if you guys don't like Marvel, that's fine. But he had specific things to say about not liking Black Panther,
Excellent.
and he
Remind me what and in a juicy tell me the tea way. What did he direct again?
he's
writer.
from Monty Python fame.
Oh, okay.
And he did Brazil is probably like his big thing, but he also did Time Bandits, and he recently had a movie titled Don Quixote that he had worked on for like 20 years or something like that, and it finally just came out, and I saw it, and it put me to sleep.
Monkey.
So oh yeah, and 12 Monkeys.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's
So he didn't like Black Panther, but he went as far to say that he thought Black Panther was a bullshit way to inspire black kids.
huh.
Go on.
I don't want to go on. I think that's enough.
I mean, I agree with you. That is enough. But did he explain his reasoning at least? Or did he just come out and say that and that's it?
Well, it's the same thing that all the other directors have said, that they just feel like Marvel is so formulaic that it and such a tentpole for the year in box office that the other movies don't really get the attention that they deserve. That's what these directors are saying. So they're saying that Marvel is shit because they just push out like formulaic, productions or whatever, which is true. Marvel movies are very formulaic, but there's more to it than just that, right?
We all read.
So yeah, it's and I find it interesting that the people who are saying that it's so formulaic are also directors who have been directing kind of the same thing for 30 plus years. Like
their own formula.
Terry Gilliam has, the same sense of humor. He has no black people in any of his movies. So for him to comment on what is inspiring to black kids is kind of like laughable to me.
It is.
And then, we've talked about Martin Scorsese on the show a lot, but as great of a director he is, he's still been making mobster movies for 30 plus years. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Like so how can you, hate someone else's formula when you're following your own formula?
Right.
Otherwise, I think that was the only other big thing in the news that I have. So that might be it for news.
Yeah, it's a holiday time. So not a whole lot's been going on this week.
If you guys have never seen the movie Rock and Roll, it's an old animated rock movie. It's available for free on YouTube. Legally, like the production company put it up. So it's,
Nice.
So check that out, because it's kind of a rock and roll.
What are they ruling?
Rock music, yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. I'm in.
So, I guess we should watch some trailers. What are you doing, Art? Why are you playing with cats
Why
and
is there an
dogs?
upside down?
It's okay. So I was just trying to sign into Twitch here to do some stuff for the show, and it's asking me to like do
Verify
a
you're
puzzle
human.
by doing a puzzle.
You did it. Good.
What is happening?
Sign in. You know how to upright a cat.
You're not an idiot.
You're not a fake computer
Jesus.
person.
Okay, yeah, we have a couple trailers.
We have a couple trailers.
Sweet.
Um,
Trailers that we watch.
so let's get on with the trailers. Oh, what happened to my trailer thing? It didn't happen.
It didn't happen. But Wicked's here.
It's okay. Wicked, look, it's Wicked.
Yeah, I like little angry Wicked.
Bucket.
So the first trailer we have is Christopher Nolan's new movie called Tenent.
Ooh, have you guys seen this trailer yet?
I
No,
have
but I
not.
can imagine he's just a guy in a building.
He's a tenant.
Strike two for Ryan ever coming back on Cinephilia.
There actually is a movie titled The Tenant that is about a person in a building.
Does it start,
It's a Roman Polanski movie.
David Tennant?
No.
Perfect.
The Tenant.
With Tennant.
With Tenant.
Tenant starring Tenant.
Yes.
Carolina goes, boo. Okay, here we go. Here's Tenant.
All right.
We all believe we'd run into the burning building. But until we feel that heat, we can never know. You do. You chose to die instead of giving up your colleagues. That test you passed? Not everybody does. Welcome to the afterlife.
To do what I do, I need some idea of the threat we face.
As I understand it, we're trying to prevent World War III.
Nuclear holocaust.
No. Something worse.
All I have for you is a word. Tenant. It'll open the
Tenant.
right doors. Some of the wrong ones, too.
Who is this guy? I feel like I've seen him in something, but I can't place it.
You have to start looking at the world in a new way.
Where do I know him from? I think so. Backwards cars.
Can't wait for 2020.
Don't try to understand it.
Oh shit.
Whoa, of course. What? Right.
Wait, what's going on?
Feel it.
Interesting.
Oh.
So all the backwardness is on purpose.
Hasn't happened
It's
yet.
purposeful. Is that Robert Pattinson?
Holy shit. Okay.
Wait.
Okay.
All right.
Was that Robert Pattinson?
See the trailer
with
in
him
theaters
the
for
car?
maximum. We didn't get the maximum effect,
okay.
everybody.
Oh no, we
'Cause
need
we
to see it
didn't
in Dolby.
Black Klansman.
Oh, that's where I know him from. Great.
Somebody said, ain't
No, I'm
that,
supposed to be
ain't
sarcastic.
that Denzel's kid?
Yes, that is Robert Pattinson. Would you say that's Denzel Washington's kid?
Oh,
Or that's what someone in the chat said. I don't know.
That was his last name was Washington, so
Makes
Oh, it
sense.
must be it.
they must be related.
He was great in Black Klansman, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That looked like fun.
Yeah.
Are we gonna talk about the trailer? Or do we move on to?
No, we can talk
You
about
can talk
trailer.
about it.
I don't have anything.
I'm
I just thought
intrigued.
Things were going backwards.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness!
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
I mean,
Oh, I always like his, cinematic mindfuckery. So
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that'll be very entertaining to watch. Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely reminds me of
Inception.
Inception.
Right. Well, I mean,
You're
yeah,
welcome.
the score didn't help with it.
I mean, that's his
style.
That's his score though. Everyone
like
else
his
took
thing.
it from him,
It's
so he's
also
allowed
very
to do
true.
it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nolan can do it.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. Next trailer is an A24 movie called Saint Maud.
Y'all
Do you
know
know
how
what
I
those-
feel about
do you know anything about
A24.
this?
I actually have avoided watching this trailer because I wanted to watch it here, but it's a new A24 ding 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 horror movie. Ding 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 ding. So I'm excited. Before you wait, pause it. What'd you just ask me?
I wanted to know what eight. I'll slap you. I don't know things.
You asked what A24 is.
Yeah.
Okay. A24 is like the most amazing production distribution company out right now. So they put out The Witch, Moonlight, like all my favorite movies. But
Educate yourself a little, Walker.
I am right now. I'm asking
I was gonna
questions.
say that's the point of
Instead
the
of
show.
just going, oh, let's watch it.
I'm not upset that he asked a question. I just wanted to answer it before we started the
Gerald
trailer.
Davis says, wow.
Hereditary, Uncut Gems. These are all A24 movies.
It's a game Lockerbie and I play.
Yeah, that's great.
They've been slapping each other for years.
4 years.
Yep.
You know that game, that like never-ending tag game? Ours is a never-ending tag.
You can't even say it.
Slap in the face game.
Slap with the tag in the face. All right.
All right, let's watch Saint Maud.
Saint Maud. You good? You good with A24? Got it. Bud.
Dear God, your presence graces the air, and soon everyone will see.
Midsummer was A24 as well, right?
Hi,
Yep.
are you Maud?
Yes, hi. It takes nothing special to mop up after the dying,
You're prettier than the last one.
but to save a soul, that's quite something. Bless Amanda's body, and bless her mind, which is shrouded in darkness.
All the movies we just
When you
mentioned.
pray, do you get a response?
Oh, it's like he's physically in me. It's how he guides me.
My little savior.
Hey, I thought that was you. What you up to?
I'm a private carer.
You're still nursing?
What?
They know what happened.
All the good girls go to hell. 'Cause even God herself.
I just want to see you loosen up.
I've got more important things on my mind.
There's my little savior.
Maud, he isn't real.
I'll play the game too.
Nothing worthwhile comes easily. All the good girls go to hell. It's hard to ignore ya. Don't say I didn't warn ya.
You must be the loneliest girl I've ever seen.
I'm ready and open. I feel fuller of your love than ever before. I have a responsibility.
Oh, yes, of course.
This is life and death on another level. What if I'm getting it all wrong? All the good girls go to hell.
Carlin says, "What the fuck?"
It's a possession movie.
Is it?
Or something.
Or something.
Or something.
Yeah, I actually like trailers that don't give away too much. Like we get a feel of the movie, but we don't know exactly what's going on.
Yeah,
so I'm fine
I
with
like
that as a trailer.
Yep.
I'm interested.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'm watching. All right, one last trailer. Oh, look, now it works.
Now it works.
Trailers. Things. Thank you for the follow.
Hey, follow.
Tofu Puffs. I like your
Tofu
name.
Puffs.
Tofu Puffs.
Tofu Puffs. All right, we got one more trailer, and it is the final trailer for 1917.
Ooh.
Want to tell us about it?
No.
Is that a year you like?
Yeah, it's a great year. With a great war. That's what they called it.
Great, okay, watch the trailer.
No, it's fine. Get into it.
In your own time, gentlemen. Must be something big if the General's here.
It's the movie by Sam Mendes.
In the 2nd Battalion.
Yes, sir.
They're walking into a trap. Your orders are to deliver a message calling off tomorrow morning's attack. If you fail, it will be a massacre.
We've got orders to cross here.
That is the German front line.
If we're not clever about this, no one will get to your brother. I will.
There is only one way this ends. Last man standing.
I'm going back to see my father.
We need to keep moving! Come on!
I'm going back.
You can't possibly make it that way, man! You bloody insane! Why in God's name did you have to choose me?
Stay, please.
If you don't get there in time, we will lose 1,600 men. Your brother among them. Good luck.
And keep running. Run, Forrest, run.
So, this whole movie's supposed to be one long shot. It's a long shot.
Really?
Movie. Yeah.
Oh, those are my favorites.
Yeah, so it's gonna be pretty cool.
I'm excited.
I think I want to see it. Yeah.
It's a World War I movie. You don't get very many of those.
Does it look authentic?
Yeah, so far, I mean, I know more about World War II than World War I, but it does look really great.
Oh, that's good. I'm in.
Cool.
All right.
Those are the trailers.
Let's get to our main topic.
Which is?
Nerd. So, I do want to point out this is a full spoiler episode.
Yeah.
If you have not
we're just gonna
seen
get
it,
into it. We're not holding back.
If you have not seen it, step away.
Unless you don't mind being spoiled.
But it is an absolutely
What are you pushing? Oh,
he just likes the button. That's fine.
Full spoiler movie. Again, giving you time to sign off now. Full spoilers.
Thanks for watching. If you're signing
spoilers
off.
ahead.
We love you. But
we love you.
We love you. But we don't talk about this movie.
We understand.
We would rather you stay. Dylan, I should spoil away.
Spoil away.
Oh. Winston X is taking off.
Bye.
All right.
We understand.
Adios. Thank you.
We will
You
catch
can
you
watch
later.
Come back and watch it later.
Once you've watched it.
And then tell us what you think.
Yeah.
Go on the Discord.
We're also doing such a better job at getting these videos up on YouTube. There's a bunch of videos on YouTube now, and we've got a schedule for them going up. So this will be there as well. But for you guys staying tonight, thank you.
You know what? I'm gonna start a thread on Discord for Rise of the Skywalker, and we can chat about their stuff for people who are eventually catching up to the movie in the next week or so. So we'll do a spoiler-full, thread to people.
Okay.
Cool.
Reed H. Cooper, luckily, doesn't give a damn about spoilers.
Well, let's go for it then. All right.
Where should we start?
Quick overview. Quick one sentence. We liked the movie. We didn't like the movie. Where is your stance on this movie?
I really enjoyed it.
Okay.
I liked it a lot. I about said loved it, but I don't know if I love it. Yeah, it's not without its issues, but and we'll get into why and whatnot. But yeah.
Yeah, it was 2 sentences. Ryan?
I also enjoyed the movie.
Great. Will?
I enjoyed the movie, but this is all one sentence. I enjoyed the movie, but I wish that the trilogy was more cohesive.
Yes. Yes, I also really enjoyed the movie. I had a lot of fun, but there are some buts.
Some buts.
Yes. Good.
Some buts.
So. Where do you want to start?
Where do you want to start? I was just ready to start. Spoiler alert, Plo Koon is mad as hell because Force Lightning.
Because Force Lightning, everything!
Okay.
Yeah.
So it is definitely for me an upgrade from The Last Jedi.
Or did we all just hate Last Jedi so much that anything was better?
That, but also, if filmmaking-wise, this was a much better made movie.
No,
yes.
It had a lot more to try to accomplish than Last Jedi did. Literally, Abrams said, "Here's this thing that I made," and then he would
Take care of it, please.
take care of it, and then so he didn't really have a lot. He had a responsibilities that he tossed away. So now, like J.J. Abrams had all those responsibilities. He had to try to
weave
make
everything back
fit,
together,
and there was not one way to make it fit that was gonna make everybody happy.
Right.
So he tried as much as he could.
And that's what I think I appreciate about this film and why I enjoy it is because I went into it knowing that they got to wrap it up somehow.
Yeah.
And
This
this
has to
is
be
the
the
best
end.
way that they could do it given the overall thing. But yes, your statement is exactly my complaint, and that was my complaint with The Last Jedi, and why I didn't like that it was the middle movie of a trilogy and decided to be different in the middle of a trilogy. But that's my biggest complaint is I wish they had like a Kevin Feige or somebody, or somebody like Kevin who oversaw the entire storytelling arc like he did for MCU.
There's an actual plan
so
for
there's
what's
this
happening
is the
in
plan.
the future.
This is the way we're going to go. Now you guys can come in, play a little bit, add your flavor, but this is the plan.
Yeah.
Follow the plan. And I really feel like they didn't do that, or if they did, they just did a poor job at it.
No, I feel like there definitely was no overarching plan to begin with.
Mind-boggling. Like,
Right.
why would you jump into a major trilogy and not have a plan
Yeah.
and not know at least where things would line up, and just say, yeah, we're just gonna make one and see what happens.
And I was reading an article that basically, I think it was Daisy Ridley saying like, J.J. Abrams had written drafts, like they were there for Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker. It's just that when Rian Johnson came in, he's just like, that's great.
But even then, though, like,
But
why
who
they
was there
let him?
to-
do
Right,
that?
production should have been.
And it's Carla H. Liner's hardliner. Says,
H-liner.
yeah, it seems like Kathleen Kennedy could have done better, and I think
Yes.
all the failure of the trilogy itself is a failure of Kathleen Kennedy. I do believe.
And just communication in general.
And Reed H. Cooper actually, it summarizes the whole. I think what we all feel is he says, "I hear the film is good, but the answers are iffy." And I think that's kind of what that is a good review of the entire thing.
He had an entire movie he had to then put back into his ending.
Right.
Because it's like, this is all the things I wanted.
Or whatever ending ended up having to happen because of...
Right.
Because like all these things I'm sure he was going to try and explain in The Last Jedi. And then he's like, well, nothing happened in The Last Jedi.
Right.
So my question then is, do you think the trilogy would have been better if Abrams had directed all three of them? But wait, before you answer, would that have then been
where would it go?
boring?
Would it have been stale?
Would it have been stale, and would it have been like just a rehash of everything we know?
That's what some folks say. Why they like what Ryan did is because
Right.
he came in and shook it up so much that it was like a breath of fresh air. Which I suppose you could agree with that because you have no idea what would have been.
I think if J.J. Abrams had directed all three and had writers with him, like other screenwriters, I think it would have been perfectly fine. I think the only piece of...
It wouldn't have been new or anything like that. It would have been...
At least still could have done new stuff,
Yeah.
But like I think people just are so held on to the fact that Force Awakens was a lot like New Hope. So, but it kind of needed to be to like kind of restart everything to make sure that we grabbed all the old people and we grabbed all to make it successful. It needed to be a little bit of that.
Yeah.
And I think evolving away from that, I think would have allowed him to doing a second movie would have allowed him to evolve away from that.
So, the first big spoiler we should get into is that Palpatine is back.
Yeah, like I totally thought that was going to be a red herring for the trailers,
Right.
And I was going to be like, oh, just kidding, it's a Force, it's a vision.
Or I had no idea in what capacity.
Right, I thought that he would just
Right.
be more. I thought he would be more minimal. I did not expect him to be the big bad of the entire movie.
Right. Which, yeah, go ahead.
I feel like Palpatine has always been one of my favorite characters in
Oh,
Star
he is
Wars
my-
because
he
he's
is
just
my
like
favorite,
so
yeah.
outrageous. And,
Yeah.
I loved that he was back.
Yeah.
He's such a better villain than Snoke. Because as much as I love Snoke in his little Golden Girls robe, he just didn't do anything.
No,
And he was a pale imitation of Palpatine. So
Right.
having a baddie that was on that grand scale as Palpatine was great.
Yeah.
But I feel like it was just so notched in there.
And that's the problem.
Yeah.
And I think like we were talking about a cohesive trilogy.
Right. There should have been more leading up to that, or having him appear earlier, or something.
And I think that's the downfall of having somebody different direct the middle one, and then them not talking,
and allow him to write,
or allow him to do whatever he wants.
Do you think that if, because you said Daisy Ridley said that J.J. Abrams had outlines for all the movies, do you think that Palpatine was the villain in the last movie in his original outline, or that this is his way of saving it?
I think so. I think it was a way to save it. I think it was a way to rope in fan service and give the fans something that they truly understood and latched onto. Because it's Return of the Jedi all over again. You go to the throne room, but now the throne room is on Exegol, this other planet, and he's there and he's electrocuting people. I mean, it's the same shit.
Has that planet ever been mentioned in any Star Wars capacity before?
I feel like I should know the answer to that, but I'm going to have to look it up.
I feel like that it just popped up in this movie, and that's a major planet.
Yeah.
They talked about the unknown regions, which is a thing in the universe.
Yes, but I don't remember.
But let me look up.
I don't remember the Sith homeworld being specifically that.
I don't think is it supposed to be the Sith homeworld?
They definitely alluded to something being like, this is very Sith related.
Yeah, it was a very Sithy land globe.
Sumiwa says it was in Lucas' original script's ideas, but never in the movie.
Okay.
But if it was in the expanded universe,
I wonder if
I spelled it right, but it's not popping up.
I wonder.
Korriban is the Sith home.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think this was just a planet in the unknown regions that
had some Sith
yeah, because it would have been
Palpatine just like
if he was going to stay hiding, it would be stupid for him to go back to a Sith homeworld.
Yeah. Right. So this is a completely different place.
But also, sorry.
No, go ahead.
When they were when Kylo Ren kind of goes into that temple for the first time, that place definitely doesn't look Sith to me. It almost looks like it was a Jedi world and then taken over. Because the way the statues were built, they weren't menacing or anything like that. But I mean,
you saw them amidst flashes of lightning. So
that's true.
But the Jedi's didn't. Luke was looking for this place, so it's not something that the Jedi's even knew about, right?
That's true. Yeah. I don't know. It might have just been a design feature that I just didn't appreciate.
It felt a little more Jedi-ish than it did Sith. Yeah.
But I love that they dropped that stuff all within the first 5 minutes of the movie.
There was so much happening at the very beginning of this movie. They had
the opening crawl where they were just like, Palpatine is doing shit and he's coming after you and now you hate it all. And you're like, oh
which
my
I think was
happening?
great because the fact that Palpatine's back is kind of weird.
Yeah.
So
I don't. They were like, it is. We're gonna run with it. Please don't ask questions. It is. We're not trying to fake you out. He's back. He's here.
Yeah.
Let's just
move on.
Let's just move on.
Which I liked.
The only thing that kind of, I don't know, maybe didn't make sense to me or something like that was broadcasts of him just being put out into the ether or whatever like that. It's just who was broadcasting these things to be making it aware of
so that people knew that he was back.
Yeah,
probably him.
Right, but It would have been a little bit more of a nice reveal if you didn't say that in the scroll. And
just here it is.
Well, but then the message that they store in R2D2 or something like that is actually the broadcast or a hidden message that they figure out, and they're like, oh shit, here's a message from Palpatine also in here. I don't know. It would have been a little.
I feel like they were trying to be a little meta
Yeah.
in the fact that we as the audience heard Palpatine in the trailers,
Right.
So they were just like, that was the message that everyone was hearing. I think it was supposed to be a little tongue in cheek, which is I don't know
it's
if
also,
I
he's
agree
here,
with
let's
that,
get to the
but
point.
yeah,
Because I feel like he's like, we've got a lot of loose ends to tie up. Let's get
just
up
like
to
you
it,
said, the opening crawl was bam in your face, and then for the first 5-10 minutes, there's a lot of things going on. A lot of information is happening before everyone, this little ragtag team goes off on their adventure. They have a lot of setting up to do just for them to go off on their adventure, and it felt like they just needed to get to it.
Yeah.
So they pushed through.
Yeah. So I don't know if it bugged anyone else, but when Kylo was using his Wayfinder to get through that weird red thing,
Yeah.
It's space. You don't have to go through the thing.
You can go around
You
it.
can they even show a long shot from it, and there's space around it.
But it looks way cooler.
And we know Kylo is dramatic.
Right.
I mean, if anyone could get away with just going through it because he wants to, it's him. He's so dramatic. But yeah, the stuff between Kylo and Rey and their fight with Palpatine is what saved the movie for me. I think everything else was just filler.
At the end specifically, or
no, I mean
everything leading up to
the
it?
entire. I mean, even for the whole trilogy, the Kylo Rey chemistry is what makes this whole trilogy.
Holds it together.
Yeah.
And so, seeing their interaction, what happens, the next step in their relationship in this movie was kind of cool. That was the best part of the movie.
Very, very, very end, but beside the point.
You didn't like the very, very, very end? Like the fight with Palpatine?
No,
or
that stuff's fine.
The kiss?
Yeah,
You didn't like the kiss?
Nope. That was
Spoiler,
that's
the kiss.
Spoiler. That's the very end, so we can save that till if we're gonna go chronologically through.
We don't have to go chronologically. We just talk.
Well, since we're already there, it was so unwarranted for me.
You didn't feel the tension between them through
not sexual tension. I feel like there was a battle of good and evil and understanding that, and then I really like the idea that they're the dyad or the split personalities of the Force, and then them coming together. I did not feel any sort of sexual chemistry.
I did. I mean, all in Last Jedi, and that's something that. There are a lot of things. I'm going to tangent for a moment. There are a lot of things in this movie that specifically backhand Last Jedi.
Yes. Oh,
but I feel like that's.
We'll talk about in a minute.
I feel like the sexual tension is something that started in Last Jedi, but actually follows through in this. So I totally saw them as. I knew it was going to happen at some point.
It felt weird, but
I didn't need it though. I think was why.
No, it's not needed, but
so that's why I didn't want it. I wanted them just to resolve, and then that's it. If you had a different outcome for their relationship, if they didn't, he didn't give the life force to her and then die. By the way, the best way to ghost somebody, literally, he ghosted her hardcore at the end of that. He's like, deuces, I'm out. I think it didn't fit for me. I think if they both stayed alive and worked together in the Force, and then maybe
that would have made it. Once he died, it made it okay for me because I was like, okay, it's not this weird they live happily ever after. It was just it was in the moment of we just went through this huge moment, and it was more like a not necessarily I want to bone you. It's more like it's a big emotional
but see,
moment.
I felt that more in Rogue One. It was between Cassian and Urso when it's the end of the world. This cataclysmic event is coming towards you. To me, that would have been a moment, but they didn't have, which I also respected that because you don't always have to go down that route. So this one, I didn't feel it as much.
I was okay. Once he died, I was like, okay, we're not gonna go down they're happily ever after they're together.
Right.
Because that would have bothered me. That would have been weird to me.
I just love what Danny said after the movie. He's like, I half expected him to go no, you're dead. No, I'm dead. No, you're dead. I'm dead. And they just bounce back and forth from each other. So it's a good thing that he ghosted out.
It's a total
Otherwise, it would have just kept going.
Romeo and Juliet scene. They have their Romeo and Juliet death scene.
Yeah.
But I actually love that he died as well because it all leads up to that. Like that's kind of where he was at in his life, like having gone through, feeling like he couldn't come back after being so dark.
Yeah.
That was his way of coming back, but then not having to
and I love that
suffer all the
and he knew that
consequences.
too.
Yeah.
I know what I have to do, but I don't have the strength to do it.
Right.
And it was cool that he reused that line for a totally different meaning. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, neat.
All the other stuff, as much as I mean, okay, so this is how I really feel about the kiss. I like the kiss. I could have done without the kiss. The kiss that I really wanted
was the one that didn't happen.
Was the one that didn't happen.
Right.
Like
Right.
we got a gay kiss in this movie.
Right.
That was completely just bullshit.
Yeah.
Because it
Right.
was just
Yeah.
like
It's
in the
gay.
background.
And doesn't it feel like it feels like it's almost a disservice because
Yeah.
it's like
Yes.
it's like we're gonna represent, but we're gonna do it in the background, and that's good enough.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
And that to me was like
Yeah.
you should have just not done it. If
Yeah,
you
right.
they
And
just done
yeah,
it.
yeah.
I don't care what the movie tells me. My canon is that Poe and Finn are together.
Yeah.
I feel like they're in a polyamorous relationship. And they can play around and do other things with other people.
And Poe's definitely like one goes with the ladies and the boys.
Right.
Yeah.
But I feel like those two characters have a connection that started in Force Awakens that they did not let pay off. And even the actors have said that they were ready for it.
Yeah.
Right.
They have bluntly said, Oscar Isaac has said he wanted to have a relationship with John Boyega.
Yeah.
And,
And they
producers just weren't ready for it.
Yeah.
And it's fucked.
That would have been great. That would have been like at the end if they had
It would have been great.
kissed or something. I'd been like, yeah.
I don't know if JJ.
And then Rose in the background just like crying.
He
J.J.
might be, but it's
Abrams
not
or
always
the-
up to him.
The production.
Yeah.
So not always.
Yeah,
up to
even
him.
if
the
J.J. Abrams had
producers.
I'm gonna guess J.J. Abrams would have been fine with it. It's Disney just being absolutely cowardly with their.
Which makes me nervous because there's supposed to be a bunch of bluntly, openly gay things in a couple of new Marvel movies coming up, and I'm like, are y'all really like, are y'all finally gonna do it? Because you told us we were gonna get gay characters in Beauty and the Beast.
Right.
Like that was bullshit.
Yeah,
you
it
told us
happened.
we would get gay characters and this and that, and then.
And Endgame,
Endgame,
and it's just one of the Russo brothers.
Yeah.
Going, I'm gay.
So are these gay characters that you have for us coming to Marvel, are they actually like proudly gay? We'll have to see.
And Asumiwa says, and they still got protests and boycotts over that kiss.
Of course they do.
Yep.
So dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah. That. Like I was like, yay.
Which I almost missed, by the way. That was like the one spoiler I got for the film, is that there was a gay kiss.
Yeah, I did too. There
But
was
it
articles
is,
everywhere.
if
So I
you
was like,
blink,
I'm
you do miss it.
Yeah, and I was like,
it-
so I'm looking for it, and I was like, oh nope, there it is. I thought I was gonna miss it.
That was
because
it.
was so quick.
But that was it.
Yeah. Yeah, retconning Last Jedi. That was fun.
Yeah, let's talk about all the fuck you, Ryan Johnson.
So-
Luke catching the lightsaber.
Yes, and they're saying you have to
Jedi
show
weapon
more
should be-
respect.
And I was like, bitch, you just threw it in the last movie, though. Like, I get where this is coming from, but look, you threw it in the last movie. And he sounded so much like Joker to me in delivering that line.
He did. He did.
Yeah, there were a lot of.
I love him so much, but he sounded like the Joker. That's the way he did.
There was also the moment where someone suggests they do the holdo move.
Yeah. Yes, the holdo
And
move.
then the next
Yeah.
person
One in
is
a
like,
million
yeah, we can't do
It's
that.
a 1 in a million shot. You can't possibly do it again. Which is funny though, because when I at the end of the film, when they're cutting to all the different planets, they show the Ewoks,
Yeah.
Wicket and his
Yeah.
son, and then in the background, the ship there's a ship exploding, and it looks like the holdo maneuver
Oh, really?
because it's being split in
Yeah.
half.
I remember that it's exploding, but I hadn't
that
even
looks
thought
like the
of
holdo
that.
maneuver again. I was like, did somebody do it again? Or I'm super.
No, it's
also
just
the,
a backhand,
Also the fact
that's
that
all.
they put the lightsaber back together is
Yes.
also kind of a fuck you to like because
Yeah.
they had done the whole thing where it's gone forever, it's burned. It's like
apart.
nope, just
Nope,
weld it together, put some leather,
Put some leather
some
around
duct
it.
tape.
Sell it in Galaxy's Edge.
but don't put a title in it because you don't want to spoil it for people.
Right.
It doesn't have a little name tag on it.
Oh,
it's just
yeah.
sitting there.
It's just sitting there.
So yeah, so they.
But it's not like it'd be a spoiler that like, oh, the lightsaber's back, because they didn't even make a ho hum about it. They were just like, yeah, it's here.
Harlan says Rotiko got screwed in this movie.
She
What
really
did?
did.
Roasty.
Oh,
Yeah,
they
she's
sidelined her
so
so
my
hardcore for
God.
no
It was
reason.
awful. For no reason.
No
She was,
reason.
I mean, she didn't
Well,
really
the-
do much in the Last Jedi, but she was set up to do so much more,
Yeah,
and they just did not play that out.
Written, and so now you finally have a different director.
Yeah.
Maybe a better
There's
writer.
just-
They
there's
could have brought her back
there's
in.
just so much
But instead,
going
they
on.
brought us a brand new character that also did nothing.
Yeah.
A couple of new characters.
Yeah, I was gonna say they.
So
Okay,
I was
so
like, why don't you stick with the character you got and then make them do more?
this goes back to
We're all like yelling at this point for some reason.
Why are we
Star Wars! We're so excited.
We're getting into it. It's good. It's a good conversation. Too many characters.
this goes back to
Yeah, too many characters.
I'm gonna keep going back to this because this is my contention. This goes back to Poe and Finn not being a couple. They totally
didn't know what to do with them.
no, well they totally Batmaned them where Batman and Robin were seen as gay, so they had to introduce like way back classic comics. They had to introduce Batwoman and Batgirl so they have female counterparts, so that kids reading it wouldn't assume that they were a gay couple and only hanging out with each other. So they actually had to introduce new characters for both new female characters for both Poe and Finn, so that they had these characters that were just like, oh, maybe they'll hook up with them, and they aren't a gay couple.
We don't know
This
what's
is
gonna
bullshit.
Just right.
Yeah. And it was. I couldn't. At the end of the movie, when Lando was talking to that girl,
that
I
girl.
couldn't tell if he was like trying to find out if that was his daughter or if he was trying to bone her.
Right.
Right.
It was like,
it was something
It's like, why did... I really don't understand why that was in there.
Yeah.
Because
the worst line.
It made no sense.
Like if she had said, "Oh, I'm also from this place,"
But like, are we setting up for
She doesn't even
Old
know
Man
where she's
Lando like miniseries on Disney Plus? Because like, let's
I mean,
go find out together.
if there is a miniseries starring Lando and her on Disney Plus, that would be kind of awesome.
it's
I would
also-
I would be interested in seeing more from her because we don't have black women in the Star Wars universe.
Right.
This is the second black woman that's been important in a Star Wars movie, and both of those women, one of them was killed in Solo, and then spoilers if you haven't seen that. And then this one, she just kind of like rides a horse.
anything.
She's
Right.
important because she's got a herd of horses.
She was about to have that really cool connection with Finn too,
Yeah.
that old past stormtrooper, and then it just didn't.
Oh, that went away.
Fizzled.
Yeah,
just
it fizzled.
like,
Nothing
totally
happened.
fizzled.
And I was like, that's a great concept. Let's start with that.
There's an entire
and run with
planet
that,
of-
and have
of
them
rebels.
connect over that
Yeah.
maybe.
So
But then-
if they spin her off into her own show, I'd be up for that.
Yeah, no,
I
that's
want to learn
fine.
more about her.
That's fine, and so which would be great because Disney doesn't set things up very well. They just introduce new stuff, and then like that's what they did at Galaxy's Edge with Vi. They just brought her in for no reason, but then there's no we don't know anything about her. So here she is, like supposed to be a cool spy, but nothing. So maybe they're trying to start over with this Jana, I think is her character.
Yeah.
And so
She's got
maybe
a
she
Funko
will.
Pop, so she's supposed to be important.
So maybe she'll have her own show, and that would be cool because then they can refer back to them. Remember when she was in the movie? Like, yes, I saw her.
Let me address something here in the chat. Yeah, so we're talking about Leia being master, raising masters. Yeah, so in the movie she became Leia's. Huh?
Are we switching to that?
It was just somebody who was asking questions.
Yeah, I like that. Go on.
Yeah, so Leia did end up training Rey. She became her master
in the film, that was cool to see.
I liked it. I thought it was cool.
And that bit felt, because a lot of this movie to me felt like obviously you guys know it's fan service, but a lot of it felt like I was reading the books again, the Legend series that Disney said, get out of here, we don't like it. With Palpatine and cloning, and with Leia being a Jedi and training, this is all stuff that was written in the Legend books. So to kind of watch that in the movie, that was cool. For me.
I do like that they
So
tossed all of that out.
Yeah.
Because then that gives them a chance to pull the things that work slowly
work,
in. Because what happens with Star Trek, like Star Trek has never done that, and then they have this huge history where they want to try something, they have to make sure that it fits these worlds.
Yeah.
So then that's what J.J. Abrams made his own timeline.
Yeah,
so just tossing all that out and then slowly pulling things back in, I think it helps out. So like especially seeing Leia do her training and do all that, that was really cool.
To see. Seeing that she had a lightsaber and all that, that was pretty
Esumi says, I read somewhere that Carrie Fisher's Leia was supposed to be the hero and she was supposed to be this was supposed to be her movie.
So the first movie was supposed to be Solo's. The second one was Luke's, and this movie was supposed to be Leia's, but we lost Carrie Fisher unfortunately before that could be so.
Speaking of that, I think they did a fine job weaving that into the story.
Some of the scenes were a little weird.
It's a little weird,
but I'm happy that they were there.
But given the situation, I thought it was pretty impressive that they managed to kind of work that in there, and do a nice job with that. I mean, it's a nice touching moments too.
Yeah, and she had a nice connection with the overall story, how she kind of like gave herself up for Kylo. And then we get. I wasn't expecting Han to show up.
No, that was awesome.
That was a nice surprise.
Yeah, that was a nice surprise, a nice moment.
Yeah. So, I mean, even though she wasn't there, it felt like that was a whole family moment. It wasn't just between the two of them. She was, a part of that moment.
Yeah.
Forcefully instead of physically.
Sumiwa says, but we can all accept the weirdness because meta, we know she had died, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly. And it says, oh, poor Chewie. I missed that part.
That was one of the best moments in the movie is when, because everyone else in the scene is so solemn. Yeah. Hearing that Princess Leia has died or Leia has died.
They're reverent or whatever for it. Yeah.
Yeah, they're everyone's calm, and then Chewie hears and he just loses it.
Yeah.
I mean, it just feels so real. Yeah. Like that's how you would react.
And that's his last connection to his three best friends.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was in the bathroom.
You missed that entire scene.
I had to pee real bad by that point.
I saw him get up and I was like, oh man,
I was so uncomfortable.
But
I'm watching on Thursday, I guess I'll watch.
But then Chewie got his medal.
Chewie.
That was so rushed.
That's when I lost my shit a little bit.
It was a little rushed.
It was a little rushed. Heavy-handed. It was just like, here you go. Yeah. It's like,
but he got his medal.
I know. I really appreciated it, but still, like the way it was done, I was just
this movie. But realized this movie had time for nothing.
Yeah,
that's true. It had
I'd rather it happen than not happen at all.
Yeah. It was
medal.
I almost
Maz that gave it to him, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I would have rather have just been like handing it to him, just like a knowing look, and then it moving on instead of.
And it's supposed to be Han's medal too. It's also Han's medal, so like he got to take Han's medal.
Yeah, that's not clear at all.
No.
Right? I like that Maz got to. I mean, Maz was kind of weird in this movie because she was so static, and we've seen her in 2 movies just like flipping around and shit.
Right.
Yeah.
But I like that she has become an important, respected character. That she not only gives the medal, but she also is the one who announces that Leia has died. She's the first person to speak after that happens. So.
I'd like it'd be fascinating to see what her connection is to everything because she's always like right there and she knows a lot.
Yeah.
I'm like, why? Why do you know so much?
She's so wise. Cool. Yeah. She's the woman Yoda.
Yeah. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. What else?
What did y'all think about so we talked about Palpatine coming back.
Yeah.
How did you feel about that big battle at the end with them? I mean, he Palpatine has always been really dramatic.
Yeah.
So I thought it was funny that when he finally got like his energy back, he got his yellow eyes back, but then he also had his little Liberace.
Yeah, all of it was like red highlights, and I was like,
he was like, I got collars now.
I saw that and I was like, oh, I want to make that costume so bad. That looks so good. No, I just wanted him to come down on his little thing and be like, you think me beautiful?
Exactly. That's what I said to her earlier.
Captain EO mess up there.
When they showed that full arm holding him up. The 2 things that I thought of was Angelica Houston and Captain EO. And then the Borg Queen in Star Trek. Yeah. I love characters that hang from the ceiling. That's an odd thing to say. But in like futuristic science-y stuff.
And I love how it was, you kind of saw that it was on something, you're like, what is that thing? And then it boofed to a wide shot and you saw the arm coming down. And it was like, oh shit,
that was pretty cool.
That was
really
awesome.
Cool. That was pretty cool. And all his little acolytes or whatever, followers and stuff. I mean, all that sort of thing is real fascinating. Yeah. I felt like you could easily spend more time with that stuff.
Yeah, if they had told us Palpatine was back like in the last movie, we could have gotten a lot more fun Palpatine stuff.
More fun Palpatine. He said, "Do it," so I was excited. Do it. And I was like, yes, he said his line. He said the thing. He did the thing. But oh my god, it was so Return of the Jedi though. Oh yeah. Because he's on the throne and then he
opened the door.
He opened the door so you can see the space battle. I was like, you did that before. I was like, look at this guy.
And that's even something that Snoke did in the last movie. So they keep doing that.
I mean, I guess
Jim is like, I got a timeline to let me watch. Yeah, then we'll do that.
But at least it's with. But I can't complain because it's with the same character. So perhaps and
the whole idea
perhaps he just does this all the time. You know?
That Lucas had was like the operatic thing where we repeat themes or repeat ideas, and it was like so it fits within the world of Star Wars
movies. That's fine. As Force Lightning went crazy, and that was awesome. I'm glad he didn't do, a 90-year-old man somersault towards her.
Oh, right. No, he still
the
felt
fact that
very.
He didn't do that, the fact that he just stuck with the Force Lightning, just like Jedi, I thought was pretty cool.
That was cool.
And but it was like amped up a notch.
Yeah, it was really amped up. I mean, it was
Yeah, just up to the sky, and I'm just gonna force anything.
It was awesome to see Rey come into her own, and then when she ends up with like 2 lightsabers and she's Xing it, that was awesome.
That was badass.
She I am Iron Manned it.
Yeah. So
that was really cool.
The nice touch was that it wasn't just that she was using 2 lightsabers; it was the fact she was bringing Luke and Leia back together.
Yes.
Yeah. Super cool. Super cool.
At what point in the movie did you guess that she was related to Palpatine? Because I feel like I asked Dave, we had a conversation after saying it, and I had guessed earlier than he had, so I'm just curious.
I mean, it was clear when she Force Lightning the transport.
Right.
Yeah.
That was the point that solidified it for me.
I thought that was badass.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was.
Just seeing Force Lightning, because that was unexpected.
Except when they made me believe for like 3 seconds that Chewbacca had died.
Yeah, I kind of hated that part. But because it was so intense, I didn't believe it. I was like, nah, there's no way. And then like 2 seconds later, I'm like, yeah, I was right.
Yeah.
No, it was like a good 10 seconds because I was worried I was like, nah. Okay, now it's been a little while.
It's been a little long.
Okay. No, he's fine.
But the scene of Kylo and Rey going, after that transport back and forth, that was really cool. And her blowing it.
Prior to that, I loved that we got to see the end of her waiting for him for the TIE fighter.
Yeah.
And actually watching her flip and like slice him. That was super cool.
That was
I would have loved to see more of that kind of cool, crazy action. But we didn't really get in that a lot.
And it was so funny because our crowd that we watched it wasn't very exciting. I didn't hear them do anything.
No, I think we're all like this.
Everybody's into it. Like, the crowd that I went on Friday night at the Block, I saw them, and when they said, "Wait, she's a Palpatine," the whole audience was like, like audible, huge gasp.
That's because went to the Block.
Right. Yeah. Well, yes, it's true. But it was really funny.
That line actually comes after her Force Lightning, though. So
it comes way later.
So was the audience just like not paying attention?
Just
they couldn't tell beforehand?
Yeah, I guess not. They were just sucked into it.
That's pretty late to figure it out. I feel like most people knew by that point.
Just Kusto says, still not buying it. No one's sleeping with the Emperor.
Unless he made a clone of in a son.
Or it might have been like might have been a Virgin Mary thing.
Those are one of the whole things, the plot hole things that we didn't really get like even a hint of like, wait, how did he have a son?
Right.
Like it could have just been like, oh, that's his wife, or that's the girl he poinked, and then he had a
And so is it his? It was a son or was it a daughter?
Son.
They met.
The son. Okay. It was the son that was his son, and then that was.
It was the son that was his son. Got
so they didn't really. It might have just been Palpatine, just. I mean, he was at the Senate.
He could have done a Jango Fett thing where like he cloned someone, but then just raised it instead of aged it.
Yeah, that's the thing. There was no. It's just like accept it. We don't have time to explain this to you. But in the end, it really wouldn't have been worth the story to tell us what this whole story. I would like to know, but in terms of telling the story, it didn't really matter how he had a son, why he had a son. It's like he had a son. That was the important part.
So was it important that she needed to be a Palpatine?
Good question.
I don't think that it was, but I think that it adds. No, I'm going to take it back. I think it is important, only because there could have been different ways to do it, but since this is the way they're doing it, I think that it works in that for her and Kylo to be so connected that they are from literally the opposite sides of these.
Because Kylo's from Anakin.
He's a Skywalker.
Yeah,
who
from the Skywalker line.
Was also Palpatine, because it's canon that Palpatine created Anakin.
Huh?
It's Star Wars canon that the Anakin being born out of nowhere was Palpatine.
Oh shit.
So it's kind of this big circle.
Yeah. So it's I feel like I want to see more. Not necessarily I want to see. I wish that there would have been more Star Wars that branched away from these characters and like everything about all 9 of these movies now centers around them. And I think it would be cool to see more of what this world is outside of that.
Yeah, watch The Mandalorian.
Yeah, but that's my point is that they were doing all these other things like Rogue One and showing us like what other characters can do, and I feel like that's what Rian Johnson wanted to set up was that Rey wasn't part of these characters,
right?
And that's why he shook it up, and I think that could have been interesting, which is why I say I don't think it was necessarily important, but since this is the way that it went out, it works.
Right.
I think it's really cool that it
And
works.
it would have been interesting had that been the plan to begin with.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, she's not. Oh, anybody can be a Jedi and blah blah. And like, and then, yeah, she could have still taken the Skywalker name because she felt like connected to those two people, and it would have been. But Asumi says, I don't buy the theory that Palpatine created Anakin. It's a little weird, but it's now official canon.
Where did it come?
The comic book, yeah.
Okay.
Dark Spunk for reals. Hey. Says maybe they were clones of himself.
Maybe.
Like so, everyone was just a Palpatine clone.
I love that we always talk about Anakin and Skywalker and all this sort of thing. But the whole movie's it's all about Palpatine.
It is.
Palpatine.
It's funny that for a long time,
9 movies about Palpatine shenanigans.
We thought that this was going to be. I think leading into this, a lot of people, including myself, thought that this would be about Anakin coming back or Vader coming back, and it turned out it was Palpatine that was in charge of everything, like you said.
And so maybe there's this theory
about his character.
There's a theory going around, and maybe this movie might have kind of proved it, that Anakin was not actually the chosen one, and so the fact that he created him was a way to throw off the Jedi and make them think that he's the Jedi one, because so that when the chosen one came, he could try to influence it, which is why he was trying to take Rey, because he realized that maybe she's the chosen one. Because she ended up maybe bringing balance to the Force. So that maybe kind of works.
I mean, she does end the cycle of the Sith.
The Sith, yeah.
Like, there's no one else to move on with.
Yeah.
That was a pretty cool scene when, she's fallen, or her and Kylo have fallen, and Palpatine is just sitting on his throne being fierce. And then, but she, looks through all of his Force lightning, looks up into the sky, and then hears all of the previous Jedis.
Yeah, that was cool.
And last week we talked about whether Ahsoka would have a cameo or not, and her cameo
was in there. Everybody was in there.
And then that one Jedi we don't care about showed up.
Right.
So I don't know the Jedis that well. I didn't recognize every voice. So what voices did you hear? Because I could pick out a lot.
Kanan Jarrus is there. Ahsoka, Anakin, like Kristen, like movie Anakin was there. Obi-Wan. Ahsoka.
Both Obi-Wans, by the way.
Both Obi-Wans, yeah.
Old and new.
Oh, really?
Which was interesting.
And then Luminara Unduli was there. She's cool. Ayala is her name, the two-leg little girl.
Okay.
Yeah. And then this other Jedi, which is barely shows up in anything. She was there for some reason. I forgot her name. And Yoda, yeah.
And Sam Jackson was in it.
Yeah, Hayden was there. Yeah,
Sam Jackson was. I definitely recognized his voice.
Sam Jackson was there. Yeah.
He should have said. They should have had him say, "Get up, motherfucker."
They should have.
And Qui-Gon.
Qui-Gon was there. But what
there are a lot.
What I would have died. I mean, what would have just sent it over the moon for me in the ending is when she was back on Tatooine and Luke and the Force Ghost Luke and Leia showed up.
I was waiting for what you're about to say. I was waiting for it.
Next to him. Man, that would have been so cool. Then you would have got actual visual cameos of everybody.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
That would have been the
I was waiting
coolest.
for that to happen, but
or at least
I would have had chills.
But I understand why it didn't happen, because that was the point where she decided to use the name Skywalker. So just saying the Skywalker,
right? But Kylo should have been there as well. Ben should have been there as well. Yeah. He should have, because that hit.
Or maybe
that's
push that.
Her brother boyfriend.
Or maybe her brother.
Hey, it's in the family. It's fine.
Right. Or put that part when she's trying to get back up. Then
the problem with putting it there is that while she's going through that mental thing, there are people dying everywhere. So that has to happen. Her getting up has to be quick. Otherwise, more people are going to die. Unless we see what's happening in her mind while she's suspended in time. Yeah. That could have been a thing they could have tried, but...
It's really cool. So there's all sound and visual. Yeah, it was just the voices of them doing sending messages to her.
Voices coming in.
Yeah.
But it was pretty powerful the way it was.
It was cool. It was nice.
And they also kind of have a little bit of no, she had seen Luke as a Force ghost before, so that's never mind. Because I remember Yoda saying it takes some effort to tap in and be able to see them. But she already saw Luke.
Yeah, and then Assuming says not every Jedi is strong enough to be a Force ghost.
They have to learn to do it. Qui-Gon was the first one, and then Qui-Gon taught all the other ones. Yeah, and they have the only certain ones learned how to do it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Luke lifting his X-wing out.
That was cool. Oh, so let's talk about all the fan service moments.
Because
I'm fine with all of them. I'm fine.
course
Just give me
you are.
fan service. I'm not the person to go, oh, that was just fan service. Like, give it to me because it's fine.
I want to see it.
Yeah. I'm here to change my life, or this is not like the novel, the American novel. No, this is pew pew things. I want to watch.
Pew pew
Pew
things.
pew.
His X-wing
Falcon,
with his helmet.
Yeah.
It's like, that's rad.
That was really cool.
I really liked that. I thought that was neat.
What are the fan servicey moments were there?
Come on, fans. You
I
should
know.
So
I'm
I'm
trying
thinking,
to
I need to watch it
go
again.
into the movie and thinking. Of
Yeah.
all
Okay.
the
How did the
stuff.
hell did the X-wing still function after all that time?
Don't worry about
Okay.
it.
Don't think about it.
They make shit
It's all-
really
it's
well.
waterlogged.
That's what you're gonna worry about in this movie.
He just coated it with waterproof.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Before he put it
water.
down
He,
there.
he pushed all the water out.
Yeah.
And then
He forced
unrusted
dried.
it.
Yeah. He forced
Yeah.
dried
So.
Metal doesn't rust in the future.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
It's,
Only on Tatooine does it.
and it says Harlan says in the use Leia ship for the final battle. Yeah.
The
Ninub was flying it.
Yeah.
I think he made it out alive, right?
I
Because the
think
last
so,
time we
too. I
saw
tried to
it
watch
was
again.
when the ship was falling.
Yeah.
And then I never saw him be okay, so I was a little worried about that.
One big part of the movie that we didn't talk about that's definitely fan service is Lando.
Yeah,
Lando
that
in
was
the
cool.
movie.
Lando was great. I love it.
Yeah.
How do you really feel?
Yeah.
Send me my love.
In a little jar.
In a jar. Like, what was that?
That was weird.
Oh, I loved when he showed up again, but he was in like his classic colors.
Yeah.
That was
yeah.
really cool to see.
And Dave said that he looked like Blackula with his his collar all
He
up.
did. Yeah, that was great. That was cool.
Like I want to know.
Oh.
Like what? Like he was at like last time we saw him, he was ruling Bespin, right? So what?
Which we saw for a hot second. That was
Yes,
awesome.
yes. That was
He
cool.
went to the festival.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
stayed for the rest of his life.
No. He went to the festival those 42 years later. When they showed up, he had gone to the festival.
He wasn't just living there.
No. Because it happens every 42 years. Maybe we thought it was cool. It's like, hey, it's time for the festival.
But he was saying he came there with Luke to find that Wayfinder.
Oh, yeah,
That's
he
what
did.
he said.
He did say
He
that.
So
says
did he
that
just stay there?
specifically. He stayed there for 42 years.
Maybe he just
Not
loved
that-
the.
well, not
the-
that.
Maybe not that long.
Or
not that
or
long.
however
Yeah.
long it
He's there for a while.
A long, yeah.
Maybe he got
He
bored.
loved the atmosphere there.
Yeah, party town.
He didn't
USA.
need to rule anything. He just wanted to chill. He's a chill
Yes,
guy.
I guess.
He's just sitting back having a futuristic beer.
Sumiwa says, what do we think about the new Force powers?
What?
They're healing.
Healing?
That's existed.
That
Well, not in the movies. That's in the...
for me, force healing's always been a thing.
Yeah.
The teleporting of things.
Yeah,
That's cool.
teleporting matter through the force is interesting.
But at least it was... I think it
I
was
like-
used well here.
Yeah, it started to get crazy. I like when they first did it with Kylo Ren and Rey
And the water.
because of their connection. Well, that's I guess all who did it, but I liked that it was just little hints of it,
Yeah.
little bits, and then now we're just like passing love notes and lightsabers through it.
But I feel
it's
like,
interesting.
but those two characters specifically
Are the only ones who could do it.
can do things that others
Yeah.
can't do. I can't speak.
No, I guess only they can do it. So
Right.
They're
no, I don't hate it. I thought it was
entangled.
used well.
Unjust Kusa says, but Force healing was like closing wounds, not growing organs.
Well, and also they make it that you're using your life force, like you're giving yourself.
Yeah,
away.
you're giving
Right,
a little bit,
which
yeah.
I like that as well.
That's kinda
But
cool.
it was nice to see force healing in the films
films,
because
yeah.
I've always read about it. And
Yeah.
you do it in the video games,
Yeah.
you know, by meditating and all that. So
Yeah, those
especially in the new
were
ones. So
dyad powers.
Oh,
dark
there was
spark
dyad
thrills.
powers, yeah. So that would make
Yeah.
sense because if they're like a dyad, that they would have
Right.
more connection with you themselves.
right.
Did you
Yeah,
notice
that's
that after she force heals Kylo, even his scar is gone?
Uh-huh.
fine. No, I
Yeah,
didn't
his
catch
scar is
that.
gone for the rest of the movie.
Oh.
That's
That's
cool.
She
Okay.
broke-
So you can make
broke
perfect. What else? Where are we going? What were we going to say?
Danny made a point. I can't remember what he said to me, like about
Danny, you're supposed
Ben,
to be
yeah,
here.
I know. I wish you
about
were
Ben
here.
Solo being a really sad character.
No.
Because like he went through all this stuff, and in the end, like
Still died.
he ended up dying, and then like
But we all die in the
yeah,
end, so it
yeah,
happens.
well, like
It's gonna
but
happen.
yeah.
So he had a great adventure.
Yeah, he had a good point that I forget what it was.
Oh, the Knights of Ren just not doing a damn
Oh,
thing
gosh.
in the film.
Yeah, well, I was cool that we got to see them.
We're gonna follow people around from the shadows and then get our asses whooped by our
Yeah.
boss. The end.
Again, one of the things that I wish we had just had more.
Yeah.
Which is probably the intent.
And why were they
Exactly
not
where.
other Jedi? Like they were supposed to be people who Kylo had taken with, right?
Yeah.
That was unclear. I think that's what people thought. We've assumed that it was other students that he took with him, but now apparently not. Or he got the new guys, the really bad ones.
Kylo fan club.
Yeah. So
the Hux moment, the Hux.
I was just gonna ask about how
Dude,
people felt about Hux.
my reaction was Poe's exact reaction when he went, "What?" I did that in the theater out loud. I went, "What? Okay. I guess I'm on board." But again, like, I'm just so mad because Hux to me could be so cool.
Yeah, he could.
Because he's a fantastic actor and he's got a fantastic image. And he started off so strong, giving that giant, speech, and then he just got dicked around throughout the rest of the film.
So I think maybe I think it was one of those fuck you Ryan, where it's like I turn him into like I'm gonna turn.
Right. Which makes sense. The only way to handle it.
Right. It makes sense with the character because he just has gotten fucked over.
Because he wasn't being good. He just wanted Kylo to suffer,
which is great. I'm just overall upset because he could have been so cool.
In Force Awakens, I know I see gayness and everything, but in Force Awakens, I really wanted Kylo and Hux to be a couple. I thought that they had a little BDSM chemistry going on.
When no one's around.
That also didn't play out.
Do you like my helmet? Yeah, it's good. It's fine. It's good. I'm okay with it.
Leave it
Stormtroopers accidentally run into them, like turn the corner. Oh shit!
Oh, not again.
I mean,
yeah, we thought they were turning because he was like having a tantrum, but no, that wasn't a tantrum.
You know what? My other fun fu to Ryan Johnson was baby Akbar.
Oh.
Baby,
young Akbar.
Yeah,
Junior.
the junior.
Yeah,
that was
Akbar's
cool.
son.
Akbar's son.
Yeah.
Out for revenge.
Out for revenge.
That was cool. It looked really good.
Yeah, it looked really cool. It was a neat design.
Mm-hmm.
Was it practical?
Yeah, I think it was just.
There was a lot of
except for eye
practical in
blinks.
this.
I think those eye blinks were
maybe.
CG.
I don't know.
Because they were real smooth.
I have
and
watched
real
it
nice.
again, yeah.
They weren't very.
Yeah, there was a lot of weird aliens. That weird alien that looked like Robert Picardo from Explorers.
Yeah.
I missed that one.
The other tentacly head man.
The big thing with the two eyes.
Oh yeah,
when randomly was in the Falcon at the beginning.
In the Falcon, yeah,
like,
which I also don't like because here's this alien that we've never met before, allowed on board the Falcon, which is primarily people that we know.
Yeah,
always on the
He's
Falcon.
going with the Resistance.
No, just the fact that you didn't share him with us until just now.
You know what would have been great that they missed out on? A great fan moment when everyone's hugging at the end. Lando's there. His old co-pilot is there. Why didn't they have a hug together?
Yeah,
maybe he did die.
Maybe he did die then.
So did he die?
I don't know.
Did you see him there at the
last
end?
time,
I thought he was there, but maybe he wasn't.
The last time I saw them was when he was on the Tentent and it was like Force lightning falling down.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the last time I remember seeing him.
So I feel like if they're gonna kill someone of that caliber off, then we need to see it happen, or we need like a blatant this happened, or Lando would say even before Jaina comes up to him, Lando is sitting there like
somber.
I should be looking for someone, or I should be doing something, or I'm missing something, and he could have said something like my best friend just died, or something like that, or an old friend just died, or something like that.
Or he should have said, "I'm your father."
Back to the Hux thing. Smoowick says, maybe I see it the other way because Kylo had a lot of temper tantrums and he needed to be disciplined. How about poor 3PO scenes? 3PO was, for me, one of the highlights of the movie.
I thought he was back on his prime.
He was so funny.
Yeah.
Well, they barely had anything for him in Last Jedi.
No.
Yeah.
And all his stuff.
He had one moment in Last Jedi that was really funny, and that was it. And this, he was just like.
But all his stuff here was on point. Yeah. Like my favorite line: "You didn't call my name, but I'm fine." That's so good. And I was like, "That's 3PO right there."
Yeah.
And I love that Poe was 3PO's Han Solo for this film. They kept yelling at him, and giving him. Yeah.
Was it Danny that said the other thing that also I thought was a good point? I hadn't thought about it until he said it. That he kind of missed the R2 and 3PO asshole friendship.
Yes.
Because they're like, oh, I love you, we're friends, which is great. But there was none of that like.
Yeah.
But we barely even see them together.
We almost got there with this one because there's a moment where 3PO's memory was erased, and R2
Oh, yeah.
was there. He's like, "No, bitch, like I know you, like we're friends."
So because he said he doesn't trust him backing him up,
right?
But R2 apparently has been backing him up like on a daily basis,
all the time. Because remember, actually that's really funny because he's 3PO's mind's been wiped before, so R2's definitely the one that's been just giving it back. And like, here, you can have it back. I don't trust him. He doesn't hold on to my memory. Here, bitch, have it back.
He's doing it like daily because when he finally gets his memory back, he literally says, "I'm going with Rey on her mission." It's right before what this movie is.
He catches him at night. I don't know how he does it. He backs him up. Just the idea of him doing that is really funny.
That is really funny. And gave us Babu Frick, which I thought was...
Babu was one of my favorite things. Babu was so cute.
Yeah.
And do you know who Babu's voice is?
No.
Is
somebody I know.
It's Jesus Christ, Harry Potter.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ, Harry Potter. That's a crazy voice.
The ghost girl. Hold on.
The ghost girl?
Moaning Myrtle.
Yes. It's her? Oh my God, I love her.
You told us that.
Yeah.
She's great.
I told you that. Yeah, I looked it up.
Art looked it up.
She's great.
Babu. I think Babu.
And
And the fact that he was a practical puppet the entire time was so cool.
And apparently earlier in that scene, somewhere in there, John Williams has a cameo. So, which I missed both times.
In the bar.
In the bar,
yeah.
He's got an eye patch or something on, but it's the only movie out of all 9 that he has a cameo.
I didn't see that.
Yeah.
What'd you think about? We talked about Jaina. What'd you think about? I can't think of her name. The Kerry Russell character.
Oh, she was so cool looking.
She was cool. And it's funny because
she's
she's a very recognizable actress, and they never show her face except for her eyes. And I didn't realize Kerry Russell was in this movie. And when she lifted up her mask just by her eyes, I was like, "Is that Kerry Russell?" And then the credits was like, "Oh, that is Kerry Russell."
Her voice sounded like the gal from Guardians. What is it? Karen Gillan.
Oh, Gillan.
Yeah. It sounded like Karen Gillan to me, and so that threw me for a loop because I remembered that Kerry Russell was on the slate for it, but
and I think the bigger problem with her and Jaina is that they gave us all these images of like these are cool new characters and they built them up.
But
they're
marketing
a lot to build them
They
up.
did the Phasma again.
Yeah, and
where they're like marketing them and putting them on the poster, and they're super cool, and then in the movie they do.
Yeah,
and
it would have been fine.
There's always women characters that get
and it would have been fine if
Phasma could have been
if that's
cool.
what all they were. But the fact that they built them up for us and then did nothing with them. Yeah, Phasma. I was like.
Phasma could have been like the ongoing enemy for Finn, like the entire film.
That's what I was expecting.
It would have been so cool.
And so, like I said earlier in the show, that Kylo and Rey's relationship and their story arc is what really makes this trilogy for me, and a lot of the other stuff is like filler. Like I feel like Poe and Finn started so strong in Force Awakens. Not just as a couple, but even just as characters. But both of them kind of like fizzled out for me in this trilogy, and I think that's so upsetting.
It is because although I am excited with this one that Finn was smart again.
Yeah, he wasn't.
He wasn't an idiot.
He was smart again, but what purpose did he actually serve aside from being a friend? And having friends is important. I think having a friend like Finn would be great. But all we really got to see was him chasing after Rey the whole movie.
I think that there was such a bigger part that could have been played with him having been a former stormtrooper.
Yeah.
I mean, you really could have dove into the fact that he really knows these guys. He knows how they operate. He knows how to get inside and do all of these things. And then they just made him a janitor. And then they just kind of talked about it. And I'm like, no, that could have been like a huge plot point that really helped to push him through the series.
Because he did know how to get onto the Star Destroyer to blow it up from the inside.
Yeah.
So he used
he helped that earlier, which was weird because he was a janitor. But no, why don't you make him a little bit more important?
Yeah.
And it could have given him a stronger connection to Jaina. You could have brought her on sooner. You know, there's a whole bunch of things they could have done there.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that he was at least a smarter character this time.
Yeah, he was. And his hair looked great. He looked great in this movie.
Yeah.
Just not derping around the whole time.
Yeah.
You know, a water sack that's leaking everywhere.
That was terrible.
Flopping around.
Yeah. I mean,
Hardliner says, I hope Carrie's character will get her own Disney Plus show. There's a lot of story there. There's a lot of characters they could actually spin off into their own show.
This trilogy should have just been like 4 seasons on Disney Plus.
Yeah,
it should have just done that and given us that whole story stretched out a little bit more.
Yeah.
I would have liked
it. What's that?
Sorry.
I was going to say the music was cool. Speaking of
music was really good.
It was really good. And it was interesting because it was a very different feel. for a lot of it. But what I loved, I think my favorite part was hearing Kylo Ren's theme turn into Ben's theme. So it was the same. It was the same theme, but it was played with different instruments and played in a different way. And it was really cool.
Yeah.
Because I know that theme so well because we always joke because it sounds like, this is my theme song. You know, we put lyrics to it because that's what it sounds like and it's so striking. And then I heard it again, but played, you know, in a fuller orchestra with strings when he changed to Ben. And I was like, oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
And
really cool.
came to hear that Rey's theme from when she's sliding down the thing during her final moments.
During her final moment.
Yeah, because we never heard that again.
I kind of giggled when she grabbed that piece of scrap and slid down again.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's really
cool.
cute.
It was really cute.
But hearing all of Palpatine's themes come back in, which I also love from Return of the Jedi, so and having that like overshadow everything and come in real hardcore a lot of the time, super cool.
Yeah.
Super cool. Love that.
So we mostly give this movie a thumbs up.
Yeah, I think, and you know, part of me wonders if we like blew our load at Last Jedi, so we're so angry at that this we're like, meh, it could go either way.
I think with
know,
all its
enjoy
faults, it was still really fun.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So and Last Jedi had faults and it had some fun parts,
Right.
and then some parts that made you really angry.
Right.
And so the things that were not so good about this movie weren't things that made me really angry.
Really,
Yeah.
I was just like, well, yeah, I get it. Yeah, that was terrible. That was stupid.
But
this part's
at
very
some
good.
point we knew that they had to kind of wrap up everything and solve
and that's
this
what he's
problem.
like. It's just
So we had to solve this problem, but here it is. So.
The chat is agreeing that the movie is about to be just missed an A.
B plus.
Yeah.
B plus.
But yeah, no, I mean.
But now we're done.
I want to go see it again. I mean, like I was telling Will earlier, I saw it the second time in Dolby. Seeing it in Dolby was awesome.
Yeah.
It was like actually being electrocuted by Palpatine. You know, when it.
Are you going to see it in 3D?
No, probably not. I don't need to.
No.
I think 3D is. We can move on from 3D.
3D to me is very gimmicky, and I only really like it if the movie is intended to be viewed that way.
Yeah.
Like with some of James Cameron's stuff, where he's like, I specifically made my film so you could watch it this way.
Yeah.
And as long if it sticks away from the 3D kind of like theme park thing, then I can enjoy it, but I don't need to go see a movie that's not meant to be shown.
They need to think about shooting it for 3D.
Exactly.
Like I know that like the last Harry Potter movie wasn't shot at for 3D, but the 3D conversion somebody clearly thought about depth, and I really enjoyed that one.
Right.
And
it's when it's smartly done, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, in other words,
right?
it's just like.
But yeah, I don't need it to be gimmicky. But you know, if the director needs me to see his film in that version or his sort of film in that version, sure, you know, I'll go check it out.
Yeah, like Avatar, I
But
definitely want to go see in 3D because that would be cool.
Right, but I like this one in like Dolby Theater though.
I'm Thursday night. I can't wait.
It sounds so good. It's so just amps everything up.
I'm gonna be too busy seeing Cats again.
See it in Dolby.
Boom.
Cats should not be in Dolby. I hope not.
Yeah, I hope when Disney makes a new Star Wars movie, it's not a Skywalker movie. No, I think they said they're done with Skywalker. This is them being done, and I think they need to move on. Kathleen needs to get moved to a different department.
I don't need to see another Star Wars movie for a while. Like if they just lived on the streaming service and really just fleshed out storylines there.
Yeah, just just focus on characters and let characters
focus on that storytelling. You know, give me a good story arc with storytelling. And
they did say that they're taking a movie. Star Wars movies are going to hiatus for a little while. They're going to go redo that.
Well, and Obi-Wan was originally supposed to be a Star Wars story, but that's turned into a series.
Yeah, because we have Obi-Wan coming up. We have the Diego Luna show. Huh?
McGregor?
Ewan McGregor, yeah. And then we have a Diego Luna Star Wars show coming, and then we have there was one more. Was that it? The Mandalorian. Yeah, maybe that's it. So we have a little bit of Star Wars, so I think they're going to concentrate on that, and
which I think is
that's
good.
probably a smart
thing
to do.
And then maybe give us something brand new. Like I really still want Old Republic.
Yeah.
Movie. If they went away for like 3 or 4 years and they came back and said we're doing an Old Republic movie, and Dave Filoni's gonna write it.
Give me some Dave Filoni, some smart things.
Dave Filoni should be giving his movies. He should just be in charge of everything.
Yeah. That'd be smart. That guy's done well.
Yeah.
Well,
because the Game of Thrones moved on. Yeah, the Game of Thrones moved on. So so
they're too busy.
I also think that the Rian Johnson trilogy that they said was gonna. I don't think it's happening anymore.
Oh, they already nixed that. That has been nixed.
And then
as it should.
The Game of Thrones guys walked away from their movie, so now it's up in the air.
The Game of Thrones guys are now working on an H.P. Lovecraft movie. which makes me nervous.
Like about him or a movie, like one of the stories.
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I don't think it's been clear which yet, but it makes me nervous because I know that they wanted to do another show for HBO that was about slavery.
Okay.
But that got nixed because Black Twitter was like, nope. So now, depending on how they tackle it, it could be a very weird show for them to do H.P. Lovecraft. H.P. Lovecraft has some racist things in his history. So
let's to wrap up. You guys going to tell me like your wish list for Star Wars?
For Star Wars?
For the future.
Wish list.
What would you want to see? Like, I just said Old Republic. I want to see Old Republic really hard. What would you like to see?
What would I like to see?
If they were to, next time they make movies.
That's a great question.
I would also love to see live action Ahsoka.
Yes.
Yeah.
That'd be cool to see.
I really want live action Ahsoka.
Or I'd be down for a Grand Admiral Thrawn.
Ooh,
like a
Admiral Thrawn, yes.
Or a film with him in it. I think that would be really cool.
Yeah,
because he is endlessly fascinating to me.
He's such a good character.
He's so well written, and he's, for those that don't know, he's a blue alien that rose his ranks through the Empire, which is impressive because the Emperor is specious against aliens. Like he hates all aliens, and so in the canon he's got rid of all. But Thrawn rose up the ranks, but he's cold and calculating, and he loves to study his opponent before attacking them, learning everything about him, about art and their culture.
Yeah.
And it's just fascinating. And the latest books that came out about him, it was all about his mental process and how he breaks everything down. And that to me was super cool. So yeah, I think
assuming what says Darth Maul, Yoda, Ahsoka, Qui-Gon. I would watch everything about them.
Yeah, I think
Hardline says Stormtrooper storyline. A Wookiee trilogy.
There's Life Day. So,
Life Day. Yeah.
Life Day and
Thrawn and Imperial Remnant.
Reed H. Cooper wants the bunny.
The bunny.
I feel like I should know what that is.
He dug deep for that one. I don't know where he went.
Yeah, I think a Imperial Stormtrooper story could be fascinating because there's been a lot of books written that have almost a day in the life of a stormtrooper or whatever, and I think something like that could be fascinating. And ending with "I died on the Death Star."
I would love to see. I want to learn more about
this guy.
Jackson.
Oh wow,
the bunny. I would like to see, even if it's on Disney Plus, which I don't actually have, so I probably wouldn't see it. But I would like to see more fleshing out of some of the women characters we got in this trilogy. I would love to learn more about Rose, more about Jaina, more about can't think of her name, but the Kerry Russell character. Yeah. And I of course want to see Poe and Finn in a XXX movie.
Or maybe a Lando movie. Young Lando and old Lando. Time traveling.
So he was young Lando was the best part of the Solo movie.
Yes.
So I would totally be up for seeing more of him.
Yeah.
Donald Glover.
Definitely something from the Old Republic. I played the MMOs for a good long while, and that whole world is just fascinating. But I think also maybe something either Jedi Trials kind of thing. So just how that actual system works and how.
Go on.
Yeah. Okay.
Just remind me.
And also, I would like to see some things from Jedi Outcast maybe come back for some Kyle Katarn. And stuff
that would
that.
be neat. That would be
really cool.
Yeah, because I'm bummed. Speaking of Jedi and stuff, that we saw Rey's lightsaber, super cool. Bummed that we did not see her build it. Again, a missed opportunity to see a Jedi building their lightsaber and putting it together in a major film. In this one, no, they didn't have time. But would have been super cool. So,
Reese Cooper says, what about live action Ezra Bridger? I would love to see live action. I want to find out what happened with the Ezra Bridger.
Spoiler alerts.
I haven't gone through it. I can't wait for you guys forever to get.
I know you can't wait for forever.
I can never talk to them about Clone Wars or Rebels because I haven't watched it yet. Jesus Christ, it's been out for years.
We'll talk about it. We'll catch up.
It's a lot, though. It's a lot to get through.
It's a lot to catch up on if you haven't been
I
watching.
did it, and I work a lot.
Okay.
Soul. All right, let's wrap it up with some recommendations. Do you guys think of recommendations that I usually forget to tell people to come prepared? So make one up on the spot.
Great.
And you can recommend anything you want.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna stick with movies. I when in the theater for Star Wars saw the Mulan trailer. That looks really good to me.
That looks really good too. Yeah.
It looks really good, and I love the music from the Disney film, the original animated film. And I'm excited to see if and how they weave that into.
It's not a musical.
No, so it won't have like Make a Man Out of You and all that.
No, not at all.
But I wonder if
they're going completely serious with this one. It doesn't have Mushu.
Do they have like? Well, because I saw like a dragon thing in the trailer.
It's like a firebird or something.
There's a witch. There's a witch.
So I wonder if there is like a Mushu type element, but not in the exact form that we got.
Oh, the Phoenix. They do have a Phoenix.
It won't be Eddie Murphy-ish.
Right. Like
it won't be like
they're going
a comedic.
Full serious.
Yeah, it's full serious. Which is what I
want to hang out here.
I'm excited for it because it's taking that serious route.
Yes,
because these other Disney remakes are.
I don't need a picture for picture, shot for shot. Give me a little fresh take.
So I got here early today and I actually watched the Lady and the Tramp movie that's on Disney Plus, and I'm just not into these Disney live action remakes. They just don't do anything.
No, they're not doing anything. So I'm excited that Mulan's taking that approach.
Yeah.
But the reason I mention that is because in the trailer they're playing the reflection, but it's part of the score.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if they'll take that approach.
They probably will.
And so that's what I'm excited to hear. I'm excited to hear how that plays in and weaves in, and it looks like a beautiful film overall. So and I always love the ancient, both Chinese and Japanese cultures. So that's gonna be fascinating. So I'm into that.
Yeah. Do you guys have anything? Okay, I will talk while you guys figure something out.
I know I have something, but you can go first.
This is one of my other guilty pleasures, because I have to watch The Bachelor. If you haven't watched The Bachelor, you guys get on that train. It's really fun.
That's starting up, and you're gonna have to be cutting out of here really quick.
No more 7:21 shows. We're ending at 7 because I gotta get home to watch The Bachelor. I have another reality TV show that I've really been enjoying. I don't get to watch a lot of TV, so I have to fill it in with these stupid little shows. Have you guys watched The Masked Singer?
No, you're telling me about it.
It's so much fun.
Based on
stupid.
I want to watch it.
It's the costumes they built for that show are.
I've seen pictures of the costumes and they do look cool.
And the second season got cool because some of the people that were on the show I was very surprised by, and you could tell that now that's on second season bigger stars are getting into it. And now that the new season starts sometime soon too. So I would suggest you guys watch it. It's a really fun show. If you just want something stupid to watch that show. It's really fun. That's all.
This is a movie that we watched a trailer of, and you were very excited on an earlier episode, but you never saw it. And I ended up getting to see it. The Dora the Explorer movie.
Oh yeah, I didn't see that.
That looks like fun.
It was fun.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. It's actually called Dora and the Lost City of Gold.
Yeah.
And Dora's older. She's not a little kid, but all of that. It almost treats the show as if it was part of her imaginary life, her imaginary childhood.
Yeah.
So she still has these things, but her family and everyone is looking at her like, "What are you doing?"
I saw that in the trailer. Yeah. That was the funnest part.
It's really funny, but then it also goes deep into Incan culture, which is really cool.
Yeah.
So it's a fun movie.
And now that Dora's grown up, she's kind of super hot.
She's 16.
Yeah, she's still
the character
she's still a teenager.
But the actress is old enough. Okay. You can look it up. I've already done it.
You did.
I had to make sure. I'm not going to pull a Michael Bay in the latest film.
And then it has Benicio del Toro doing the voice of Swiper.
Swiper, yeah.
And Danny Trejo is the voice of Boots, the monkey. So
always go with Danny.
Yeah, it's fun, and I think it's available on DVD now or Blu-ray or to rent.
Yeah.
So.
That's good. Well, I'm glad it was fun. I was worried that it might have been a little bizarre, but that's awesome.
No, it actually I hate it when movies take characters out of their setting, the setting that we know them in, like to begin with, like usually we get at least to the third movie before whatever character goes to New York or whatever. It's, I mean, that stuff is stupid.
Everybody's got New York.
But so I was worried with this movie that the trailer clearly sets up that she's taken out of the jungle and goes to like school in the city. And I was worried that would be weird, but it actually works, and then it finds its way back to the jungle so that she can be in her element, and it actually plays with that idea of her being in and out of her element and what that means. So it actually it works. Yeah.
Nice. Well on them. Good on them.
You got a
Keiser?
recommendation?
Oh well, third strike for Ryan.
The only thing that
He's not coming back on the show.
The only thing I could recommend is already over because I was running Nutcracker and everyone who goes, you go see it, but it's over.
It's over.
Well, now you can recommend the next perception check.
I suppose. Well, yeah, the new year we'll have a new show. Well, not a new show, but a
new campaign.
No.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Same campaign. We're just next chapter.
Yeah.
We flipping pages.
Chapter 2. So you guys join us back. We are off to this Tuesday, Wednesday. No, this is the last stream of this week. Unless we get bored and we decide to stream some video games or something.
Yeah.
More than likely not. We're
Danny's
taking a
busy on
Danny's busy on
But
Wednesday.
I mean, there's a good reason.
It's
It is
Christmas.
Oh, I suppose.
Yeah.
So
Coming up.
enjoy your
People
Christmas.
should get the holidays off to
Coming
spend
up.
with
But
people.
if
So
people are just gonna sit around and do nothing on Christmas.
I mean,
Which is like why we should
You're
be
not wrong,
streaming
though. That
on
is
Christmas.
kinda what I
But
do
we also
sometimes.
want to sit around and do nothing on
Yes.
Christmas.
Yes.
Because I desperately need it.
you do. So take the time off.
Take a time out.
And
Take
by,
it.
also
Got
by the next year we will have hopefully
Oh.
a finished tavern set.
And then hopefully it's time set. And then we'll be back for a week. And then we'll be gone again for a whole week.
Because we're going to CES.
We're going to CES. But we'll probably be streaming from CES.
Yes.
Oh, that's
So
cool.
we won't be in a regular streaming schedule. We'll be on a very random schedule throughout the entire week.
Things we think are interesting.
Just
we
live
will
streaming.
take you along and do those things.
And because CES is a technology conference, they have fantastic Wi-Fi. We were on the Wi-Fi service the entire time. The only time there was hiccups is when we went from hall to another hall, and then we had to jump router to a different router, and it would like skip. But other than that,
But that's
it was
quick, yeah.
it was like the best internet experience ever at a convention. So
do they charge you for it? Or
no, it's just free.
How nice of them.
Do we get to see another bread machine? I hope so. We saw the bread
was so
machine.
good.
It was a vending machine that made bread, and we all literally stood in line to get our giant loaves of bread.
So tasty.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And it was also really nice to just watch Danny suffer.
Yeah,
That's a death machine.
Death
not
machine.
A vending machine.
Yeah, and we'll probably be hanging out with Goldie again, so she's gonna be there as well.
Is Mitchie in the chat?
No, she didn't come here today. I was gonna tell her about her cookies because we got her
Yeah,
cookies.
Mitchie, your
got 'em?
cookies are delicious.
Yeah,
There's-
cookies are delicious.
There's some over there, so try
They
them.
were not stale.
what was
I
that
know.
when I was
I know.
looking
We
for
picked
snacks?
them up a while. They got delivered a little while
Why
ago.
didn't I say that?
And then
I'm
so
sorry.
they're delicious. I'll send her a message.
That's hilarious.
I'm so sorry.
All right, we are going to we're going to go ahead and start a raid. We're going to raid our
Woo!
friend Daily Night Shade 666. She is playing. So join us, please hang out. Go watch her play. She's great. She's currently playing Overwatch. We appreciate you guys coming. You guys hope you guys have a wonderful Christmas Eve and a Christmas Day, and we will see you next Monday on Cinephilia. That will be our next first stream.
We'll
We'll Cinephilia you later.
later.
Where's the button?
Nailed it.
Where's the button?